On May 13, 2025, officers responded to Fort Lauderdale-Hollywood International Airport after receiving reports of a man attempting to breach a jet bridge.
What was he doing? He tried to breach the jetway like twice.
What's wrong? The
Tall guy.
drunk?
I don't know.
Yes, go ahead. What's going on? What happened?
I'm trying to catch my flight.
What flight you got? Let's see.
I'm flying with
So you were
JetBlue.
supposed to fly out. What time is your flight?
JetBlue.
What time is the flight?
Are you
What?
were you drinking or are you taking something? Well, you was actually everybody said you were jumping and you was all over the sleep deprivation.
Huh?
Sleep deprivation. You said sleeping?
Say one more. Hey, what happened to this boy? What's going on?
So he boarded the flight. So he scanned and you walked down the jet bridge. After the jet bridge, he just turned around and walked off. So I'm trying to get his attention to like what's going on. He doesn't answer nothing. I'm down the jet bridge because I'm tagging bags and over the flight. She's up here. You walk straight past her.
Okay, pause for a second. Let's talk about the gate agent's story here. She's explaining that this passenger, Vital, walked onto the jet bridge, then just turned around and walked off without saying a word. In the world of aviation security, that behavior is a massive red flag. Jet bridges are sterile areas. Once you go down that ramp, you're committed to boarding. For him to go down there, ignore the staff and come back? That's not just weird guy behavior. That's suspicious activity that requires an immediate security response. The agents aren't being rude here. They're following protocol because an unresponsive person in a restricted area is a major security liability. They need a name and they need to know if he's a threat.
So she's trying to get his attention, like, sir, like, what's going on? He doesn't answer. So she really tell you more about what happened at the front. So I don't know what's
So the flight left already?
Yeah, the flight already gone. So I said, he didn't say anything. Halfway through in the jet bridge, he just turned around and walked off. So I'm trying to get attention, like, yo, what's going on? He doesn't answer anybody and just walks off. So she was on point, so she able to tell you exactly what is it, what?
Hey, what's going on?
First, he walked off the jet bridge. They were trying to get his name. He wasn't replying. He wasn't replying. And then when he got to the top, I kind of had to like go in front of him, like, sir, what's your name? What's your name? And he's like, Vital. I don't know if that, like, it's, he said it in Spanish. And then I got his seat number. He said 13. And I'm like, okay. I looked him up. I saw Vital. It was 31F. He was gone already, and then he comes back when he was on the desk, and then he was trying to get on the aircraft. He tried to run me over, and like, he went like this. He was ready, and I'm like, that's the day. So then he goes and he backed down, and he left again. He threw himself on the ground, threw his jacket off, and then he came back again. He tried to open the doors, both doors. He couldn't open the doors. That's why the alarms went off.
Wait, hold on. Did we just hear that right? He threw himself on the ground, ripped his jacket off, and then tried to force open the doors? This isn't just missing a flight frustration anymore. This is a physical struggle against airport infrastructure. And listen closely, you hear those alarms in the background? That's the jet bridge door alarm. In an airport, those alarms aren't just a suggestion. They trigger an immediate lockdown response. The stakes just skyrocketed. This brings up a critical question for you guys watching. At what point does acting out cross the line into criminal behavior? Is he a danger to himself, or is he a danger to the operation of the airport? Let me know what you think in the comments.
And then after that, wait, is he backwards? But he's like sweating a lot too.
Yeah, maybe he's 5 minutes. Hey, let me ask you a question. Are you okay? Have you been drinking?
No.
Are you on any medication or anything?
No, sir.
Is there a reason why you were acting like that at the gate?
No, sir.
All right, so just so you know, the flight's already left.
Okay.
So what do you need to do right now? We're going to walk you outside.
Another flight, yeah.
Fine.
Yeah. I'll figure it out. All right, then we're going to walk you outside of that.
Right, come on, let's
So, the airport, let's go that way. Yeah, the flight's gone.
That's not what?
I appreciate it.
Let's go.
Appreciate it.
It's all right, man. Let's go. If you're not okay to fly, it's better you go find somewhere and whatever you want. I'm not saying because. Huh? Yeah. So yeah, book another flight for another day and fly now. Yeah, because it's not gonna work out for today. So because if you do come back again and you start acting up like that, you're gonna end up in jail.
Understood.
I'm telling you that one. Alright, go ahead.
Put this down the
Take
ground.
the bag off.
We're gonna take the bag off.
Hold this.
Put your hands behind your back for right now.
Yeah, place your hand behind your back.
Right now, put your hands behind your back. You're being detained while we investigate something. We got additional information. Do you understand? Do you understand? We have additional information
Listen,
about what occurred.
I'm gonna explain to you. The way you was acting at the gate over there, you started walking halfway through.
Alright, listen closely to this interaction because this is a textbook example of crisis intervention by law enforcement. The deputy just said, "You're not being arrested." That's crucial. They are detaining him for an involuntary mental health evaluation under what's likely the Baker Act or a similar state statute. In Florida, if law enforcement has probable cause to believe a person is a danger to themselves or others due to a mental illness, they can take them to a hospital against their will. The officer is actually trying to de-escalate here by telling him he's getting help, not handcuffs. But here's the catch: if he resists this detainment, that not being arrested promise goes out the window real fast.
Next thing you know, you pull yourself out. This is not a normal behavior. Why now? What we're gonna do is you're not being arrested. Let me listen to me. Let me explain to you. You're not being arrested. You're gonna be Baker active. You're gonna be transported to the hospital where you can see the psychiatrist. Because
I need to go to the hospital.
yeah, that's what
That's what we're doing. We need to get some help.
we're going to the hospital. Relax.
Because you go to the hospital to get some help.
Yeah, that's what you're doing. We're going to the hospital. That's fine. We're gonna take you to the hospital. That's where you're going. Alright? It's fine. That's where you're going. You're not being arrested. Just relax.
Hey, stop that, buddy.
Relax. Hey.
What are you doing?
Alright, get him down.
Get on the ground.
Por favor.
Stop, buddy.
Hey!
Buddy. Stop.
Yo!
Get it down here. Get it marked. Get it down here.
¡Mira! ¡Que no pueden hacer esto! ¡No pueden hacer esto! What are you doing? What are you doing?
Let's sit him down.
What are you doing?
Fist off is fine.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Just relax, dude. Relax. Alright, sit up. Alright. If you were gonna sit up, sit like that. Relax.
Leave him right here.
Just sit down like that. Relax.
Yeah. Oh, my phone! It's a phone. It's a phone.
Okay.
Please, let me have my phone.
No.
Let me have my phone.
Buddy.
Let me have my phone. Get him in his unit. Oh my God, no, hey, stop. Stop, why are you doing this to me?
Relax.
Listen
Why
to
are you
me.
doing this to me?
Listen to me. Stop talking
Why are
for a
you doing
second.
this to me?
Shut up.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. And there it is. The moment the situation flips from a mental health call to a use of force incident. The deputies are trying to pat him down for weapons. Standard procedure before putting anyone in a squad car, especially someone acting erratically. But as soon as he starts physically fighting for that phone and screaming, he is no longer a passive subject. In the eyes of the law, he is now actively resisting. The deputies' tone changes instantly from calm negotiators to strict commanders. They have to establish control for everyone's safety, but you can feel the tension snap in the air here. This is where things get dangerous for everyone involved.
Stop being difficult. It's going to be worse for you. Stop being difficult. Stop moving. Stop moving. I don't need to hear you right now. Just shut up for 2 seconds.
Yes.
Stop moving. Okay? I don't need you to reach in your freaking pockets to get a phone. You'll have enough time to do that. Do you understand me? Look at me. Stop acting like a knucklehead.
Understood.
Listen to these deputies' instructions. Okay?
I'm listening,
It's
sir.
not time for you
Sir,
to start
I'm
being
listening.
ridiculous.
Sir, I'm listening.
Okay. Don't move.
I'm listening.
Okay.
I'm listening.
Okay, then stay right there. We're gonna put you in shackles now.
Two Bravo 5 and 2 Bravo 7, can you copy at 49 audible?
Mine is upstairs. Relax.
Stop, buddy.
What are you doing?
You're gonna get yourself.
What are you doing?
We're searching you. We need to make sure you don't have anything. We don't. Do you think we're gonna believe you? We need to make sure. Oh, thank you so much for letting us know. You still have to check. It's your job. Okay, great. Thank you for letting us know.
Door 313.
Stop flexing. Stop flexing. It's only gonna get worse. If you
Don't
pull away again, it's gonna get worse.
Whatever
I'm not trying to pull away. I'm not pulling away.
Stop flexing. You're good.
I'm not pulling away. Can somebody please help? Call help. Somebody record this. Can somebody please record this?
30 times.
Can somebody please record this? Record this, please. Record this, please.
Each car from any
Don't
Hello.
worry. We're recording. You're on camera right now. Everybody here is recording. Don't worry about it. We have plenty of video footage of you.
My car's up on level. I'm
Wait,
coming in.
my camera is recording you.
They're right at unit at lower level that can respond. Say Bravo 4-2. Can you copy?
I'm not flexing.
Alright, are we done searching or not
Can
yet?
somebody please record this? Can somebody please record this? Please record this. Please record this. Please record this.
This part is hard to watch. He's begging for someone, anyone, to record what's happening. This is a really common fear in the era of viral police videos. The feeling of being alone against authority. But the deputy makes a good point. He says, everybody here is recording. It's a smart move by the officer to acknowledge the cameras, as it often helps keep everyone accountable. But think about Vital's mental state here. He's confused, probably scared, and now being physically forced into a vehicle. He thinks the evidence will save him, but the deputies know the evidence shows him trying to break into a plane. The disconnect between his reality and theirs is the real tragedy unfolding.
And then you're gonna
Somebody
break your
please
wrist.
record this.
Yeah.
I respect you guys.
Come on.
I respect you guys.
Let's get him up.
I respect you guys, but I need you guys. Please, but treat me like a human being.
Go in the car.
Go in the car. Get in there.
Go in the car.
You'll get it. Get in there.
Please, my ID, my
Get in there.
passport and my ID.
We'll give them to you later. Come on, get in
Right
there.
there. They're right there.
Get in there, man.
They're right there. You're right there. You're gonna get on your property.
Search him one more time.
You're gonna get everything. Can I please have my passport? Can I please have my passport? Stop.
Stop. I already told you you're gonna have.
Can I please have my passport? Can I please have my passport?
There's nothing in this pocket.
I don't have anything, guys. I don't
Get in
have
there.
anything.
Put your foot in
I
there.
don't have anything.
Close the door. Oh my God.
You're gonna have to go in the car. Now you wanna push in it.
Hold his upper body and then grab his legs. Hold his upper body. Hold his upper body. You got it? I got him.
732 has 6-4, 600 drive to vehicle device.
Get in there.
You got the upper body. Grab him. Come on. You're not gonna pull him.
Yeah, that's it.
So, after a chaotic struggle at the Fort Lauderdale airport, Vital was taken into custody. What started as a missed flight and erratic behavior escalated into a physical confrontation with police. Legally, he was charged with disorderly conduct and resisting an officer without violence. However, the initial intent from the deputies was to get him mental health support, not to put him in handcuffs. This case is a stark reminder of how quickly a mental health crisis can turn into a criminal justice matter when compliance breaks down. The broader implication here is the constant challenge law enforcement faces in distinguishing between a crime and a cry for help in real time. If you found this case as shocking and thought-provoking as we did, make sure to hit that like button. Share your thoughts on whether the police handled this correctly in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom and police breakdowns.